Good morning to all. We will now see about cardiovascular system, which consists of heart and blood vessels. So, what is cardiovascular system? The cardiovascular system, also known as circulatory system, is composed of blood vessels, heart, which takes blood all over the body. The heart functions as a pump to move this blood throughout the blood vessels. Their circulatory system is essential for large multicellular organisms like human, animals that provides at least five major functions that are necessary for our body. The five major functions of cardiovascular system are transporting oxygen and removing the carbon dioxide. Next one, it helps to transport nutrition and removes the waste. So it also helps to fight diseases by taking the immunoglobulins which acts against the disease causing organism. It helps to transport hormones. Hormones are nutrition or proteinaceous substance that controls the major functions of our body. It also regulates body temperature. These are the five major functions of cardiovascular system. So, what are components? Let's see what are components of cardiovascular system. Cardiovascular system consists of is a double pump and a complex system of blood vessels. So here in this picture, you can see this is the ventricle. The blue thing is atrium, and this is arch of aorta, and this is superior vena cava. Okay. So blood circulates from heart throughout the arteries to the capillaries to veins and back to the heart. There is a decrease in blood pressure. The blood moves away from the heart. So this is a diagrammatic representation of heart, and here you get the superior vena cava, and here you get the inferior vena cava, which enters into the right atrium. So you have we already said that we are having two hearts. One is right heart, and the other one is left heart. The right heart consists of two parts, namely right atrium and right ventricle, and the left part consists of left atrium and left ventricle. This right atrium receives blood from superior vena cava and inferior vena cava. The blood from head, upper limbs are collected, and neck, other parts are collected, upper parts of the body are collected through the superior vena cava, and the blood is being taken to the right atrium. Similarly, blood from lower limb, abdomen, and other parts from lower part of the body are taken by this inferior vena cava, and they carry the blood towards the right atrium. So from right atrium, the blood is being pumped to right ventricle. So this is the right ventricle. So you know that whenever this heart is also a muscular structure. So there are three types of muscle, as you would have studied earlier. There is smooth muscle, skeletal muscle, and cardiac muscle. So this cardiac muscle are specialized muscles since their fibers are branched. So they are not controlled by our will, but they are being controlled by the sympathetic and parasympathetic nerve system. Okay, here when this right atrium contracts, so it increases the pressure inside this right atrium, and the blood is being pushed from right atrium to right ventricle. So this act of contraction of right atrium is called as systole, atrial systole, right atrial systole. When blood enters the right ventricle, the ventricle will be in the state of relaxation. It will relax. So that component is called as diastole. So the ventricle, right ventricle, when right atrium is in the state of systole, the right ventricle will be in the state of diastole. So it will receive the blood from right atrium, and the ventricle will get filled up. So the blood crosses this area, and this area is called as valve, and it is named as tricuspid valve. It can also be called as a right atrioventricular valve. So the blood here will be pushed into the right ventricle, and the pressure here will slowly increase. So at a particular point, this valve closes and the right ventricle goes for contraction. That is called as right atrial systole. So previously it was in the state of diastole when it was receiving blood from the right atrium. Now it has gone to the what is called diastole systole, by which it contracts and it pushes, it increases the pressure inside the right ventricle, as a result of which the valve here opens, and this valve is called as pulmonary valves, and this valve, the blood is being pushed into the blood vessel that is called as pulmonary artery. This pulmonary artery divides into right side, right pulmonary artery and left pulmonary artery, and takes the blood to the lung for absorption of oxygen from the lung. So this pulmonary artery goes, absorbs the oxygen from the blood, and this oxygenated blood is again transported through pulmonary vein into the left atrium. And this left atrium will be in the state of diastole, and it will receive blood from pulmonary veins, and it slowly becomes bigger, and the pressure inside the left atrium also increases. And at a particular point, the left ventricular systole, that is where the left ventricular contraction takes place, and the blood from the pressure here increases, and the blood will be pushed from left atrium to left ventricle through this valve called as a mitral valve. So this left ventricle, this will be in the state of diastole during the left atrial systole, and it receives the blood, and it also increases in size, and the pressure inside the left ventricle increases, and after a few microseconds, the left ventricle wall contracts, and the pressure mounts, and this pressure will push the blood into this bigger blood vessel called as aorta. This is the aorta, arch of aorta. This is the arch of aorta. This is the aorta. Through this valve called as aortic valve. So blood from aorta is being distributed to the head through carotid arteries and other arteries. Then this is descending aorta. Then it enters the abdomen wall as abdominal aorta, and it gives different branches and supplies vital organs there inside the abdomen as well as all part of the body. But the first branch that comes out of aorta is called as coronary artery. So that coronary artery is the artery which supplies blood to the heart. So you would have come across the word heart attack, no? So this heart attack means this coronary artery will get blocked. So that condition is called as heart attack. And the first blood vessels which is given out from the aorta is the coronary artery. So the right heart and the left heart is being separated by a septum. This is called as septum. This is the atrial septum, which is not seen here. This is the ventricular septum. This is the ventricular septum. Okay. So this is about the structure of the heart. So coming to blood vessels, there are three types of blood vessels. Only one is arteries, the other one is capillaries, the third one is veins. So the central lumen of blood contains endothelial cells, and it is surrounded by fibrous tissue and smooth muscles. So this is a layer of microscopic layer of arteries. So this internal part is the endothelial cells, and this is covered by fiber, elastic tissue, and smooth muscles. This bluish things are smooth muscles, and this red things are fibrous tissues. The red things are smooth muscles, and this wire-like things are elastic tissues, and it helps to see how thick the walls of arteries are. So it is then surrounded by this fibrous tissue, which is tough and resist stretch. Next one is this artery. So artery, when we call blood vessel as artery, So whenever the blood vessel carries blood away from the heart, that is called as artery. The largest artery, known as aorta, has thick elastic wall which can stretch to accommodate a surge of blood after each contraction of left ventricle. Arteries branch many times to form smaller vessels, the smallest of which are called as arterioles. Contraction of smooth muscle lining of wall of the arterioles allows them to open and close to various degree of adjust blood flow to different parts of the body. Example during vasodilation and vasoconstriction. Whenever you need more blood, the blood goes for vasodilation. As a result of which, more blood will flow through these arterioles into the organs, and whenever you need only lesser blood, this arterioles constrict and reduces the blood utility to the periphery. So coming to the vein, similarly, this is also a hollow thing, and it is a bigger one. This hollow thing is a bigger one. The inner part is endothelial cells, but the middle part, which has very thin muscle layers and elastic fibers, and it is again surrounded by fibrous tissue. So this is a cross section of vein, and in a lower limb, actually, we have some valves in the vein, and this helps to prevent backward flow of blood. And you know that you have come across persons having dilated veins in the lower limb, that is called as varicose vein. So that is mainly due to the failure of this what is called valves, and due to the backflow of blood from the column between thigh and abdomen. So it goes for backflow, and the blood vessel gets dilated. Muscle compression veins, muscle compresses the vein which when contracted, blood speeds towards the heart. So you know that you are having muscle called as calf muscle. There is soleus muscle, gastrocnemius soleus muscle. So whenever this muscle contracts, the blood will flow from lower limb to the upper limb. Uh, Lower limb to the upper limb, and this is called as peripheral heart. This is called as peripheral heart. Okay. So coming to the capillaries, the junction between arteries and veins are called as capillaries, and they have a very thin layer. The wall is only one cell thick, allowing nutrition and waste material to diffuse through the areas. So here, the oxygen and carbon dioxide will be sent to the cells which are needed, and the unwanted things like urea, creatinine, and other things, byproducts will be sent into the capillaries. From where it is collects and forms the venules and then veins. So this is the diagrammatic representation of capillaries. This is the arterioles, this is the venules. So you have this is the capillaries, and you have cells around here, this way, here. So whenever you need oxygen, it will get diffused through this single layered capillary walls. Thank you.